Do you need to get the giggles out?
No. Wait, now I do. Because I was prepared and now I'm not. I didn't realize I was going to have to read.
Focus like a true girl's head right there.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am here as a representative of Blueprint Church to talk about the 49 Commands of Christ with two wonderful crew youth, and they are
And Briaiah.
Lauren, your part.
Over.
No, we can't start over because this is the gold. We're talking about the golden rule, and this is the gold. People want the mess ups. Okay, Lauren? They want to see the realness. We're being real right now, okay? Go, Lauren.
Today we'll be talking about Matthew 7:12-14.
Briaiah, your turn.
And it reads, "Therefore, whatever you want others to do for you, do also the same for them. For this is the law and the prophets. Enter through the narrow gate, for the gate is wide and the road broad that leads to destruction, and there are many who got through it. How narrow is the gate and difficult the road that leads to life, and few find it."
You did a great job there. Just want to let you know.
Thank you.
All right. So this is what people call the golden rule. Okay. Were you familiar with the golden rule before you read the scripture?
Yes.
Okay. And how would you communicate the golden rule in general? What would you say?
Treat people the way you want to be treated.
Okay.
Same
thing.
I didn't realize that it was actually something from the Bible. I just thought it was a statement that we said because it made sense.
Absolutely. It is very logical. All right. So what about this text stood out to you guys? Like when you first read it and you were like, I gotta talk about this thing on Saturday morning. I really don't feel like doing this. Ugh. What was the thing that stuck out?
The gate, like the narrow gate and broad road.
What did that like? What about it was like?
I was confused at first. I was like, is it two different things? Is it a narrow gate and a road? Or is it two separate?
Mm-hmm. And what have you decided? You're still like, I mean, I can take some help on this. But Briaiah, would you like to assist?
Yes.
Okay.
So I thought same thing. That's the thing that stuck out, but it was interesting to me because the way I took it was that there's a lot of worldly things, but there's only one road to heaven. So the road to destruction is wide because there's so many options, but there's only one narrow road to heaven. I don't know. The other word it used destruction.
They didn't give you something else. They just said destruction.
Had to make it up. So, but yeah, that's how I took it.
Okay. In your own personal life, how do you feel like this is something that you either like you struggle with? There's tension. Do you process through like, man, the directions in which you go in life, the decisions you make? Are you taking the broad road? Is it the narrow? Like, do you guys think about that? And if maybe not on those particular terms, but how do you think about the decisions you make on a daily basis?
In terms of treating people the way that I want to be treated, to me, it's like it costs $0 to be nice. So why not just be nice all the time? Even though obviously I'm human, I mess up. So I do make mistakes, but it's just, I try to always I try to do.
That's a t-shirt. It costs $0. It'd be nice. I like that. Would you wear that? Wow. What about you and your daily decisions? Do you?
I feel like I do hold some grudges against people.
Yeah.
But I'm not a mean person.
I hear you.
I treat people the way I want to be treated sometimes.
Have you guys ever had a situation where you knew you had a grudge and you forgave the person and it felt liberating? Like you're like, you know what? She said, I hold those grudges tightly, is what she said.
I have like one time, but I have, and now we're friends actually. So we weren't friends for like 2 years, but we're cool now. So
one of the things I hear when I think about this is, especially at your guys' age, which is no different from being an adult, but the idea of peer pressure or, the influence that we have, especially with social media. There is a way in which people seem to like go, which is broad. Like here's the broad way of which we all should do and act and behave and think. But there's a narrow way which is right to the Lord, apparently, from the scripture. How do you guys deal with that in the social media world and being influenced versus being influencers?
Well, I would say when I was younger, I was influenced a lot by what other people were doing and not what I wanted to do. But I feel like I've gotten better as I've gotten older. And, you know, like live your life for yourself and not for other people.
That's good. Live your life for yourself, not for other people. Dare I say? Okay, cool. I won't say it. T-shirt. Okay. Briaiah, for you?
I feel like I still struggle with it. I don't know. I feel like mainly in like the music that I listen to and like
The music you listen to? Who are some of the people you listen to? Okay, keep going. I didn't know. I thought you said you listen to my music. I thought that's what I heard.
I do listen to
Oh, okay,
music,
cool.
sometimes.
Okay.
But not all the times.
But most of the times, though.
Right.
Okay, cool.
Anyways, I just feel like one, I listen to like a lot of music that it's a secular and it cusses a lot, and we have a very like, especially like our generation, we have so many things that we get to see and so many different aspects of life that we just aren't usually used to, and because like our parents can't really shelter it from us anymore because we just
absolutely.
And so it's sometimes hard because you're just like, oh, that's interesting, and then like you start to learn about it and you're like, oh, and then later you go back to your parents and your parents are like, whoa, hold on, that's not, and I might have even been thinking that it is something that's okay, something that's for the Lord, but then I find out like that's not really like, that's something the world's teaching you and not.
Is it easy to kind of like reverse engineer from that, like to think like, oh, this is something that is, and then all of a sudden like, whoa. Because I would assume that's pretty difficult, like to operate in something.
It depends on how long you stray down the road. It's harder. The farther you go down the road, the farther you have to come back. So I just feel like with me, the more I talk about things, so like I'll talk about my mom. Oh, mom, I just saw this TikTok about da 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 da, and she's like, oh, like so if I talk about things that I've seen on the internet more, then I get more feedback on it, and then we can have a conversation. And then the less you stray down the road, the more you learn. So you don't have to run as far back. So I don't know.
Do you feel like you are more influenced, or do you feel like you're more of an influencer, or do you vacillate from both? Like, do you go from influencer to being influenced, and do you even want to be an influencer? Is that something that is too weighty for you? Like, how do you even view just being someone who's on this road, maybe having the ability to direct people?
Well, I think I'm a mix of both. Like in terms of like my friends. I get influenced by my friends, you know, when they get good grades, you know, I want to do better. Or
you just trying to squash. I'm trying to kill them. It's like, what you get? Okay, I got you. I can see this is like a grudge again, but this is a good grudge. This is more like okay, I got you.
But I also try to be an influence, I guess. Not, I don't know, like. I don't know how to explain it.
Take your time. We got about 3 hours. I got some shirts being made, so.
I don't know how I can explain being an influence, but.
Is there anybody, or is there a situation, without giving us too much detail, in which you feel like you've influenced people for the positive?
No.
Okay. There is, Lauren. You're just withholding right now. Okay. I know. I've asked around. I've talked to your friends, and there's a couple I have written right down. But I'm not gonna call you out.
That's
Briaiah.
a little creepy.
No, it's not creepy. It's research. That's what it's called. Okay, Briaiah? It's research. I'm good at this.
Yeah. Okay. For me, I feel like especially during the whole the Black Lives Matter movement, I was like, all throughout middle school, I've been very like openly like, guys, this is not okay. And so a lot of my friends, especially like my white friends, they look into what I post and they look to what I repost and stuff like that. And they'll even like DM me and be like, bro, that's so interesting. I never heard about that. And so then I'm like, so I do have some type of influence. Yeah. Or even like when I go to other people's posts and I see something like, oh my gosh, this is so good. Then they text me like, oh my God, I was really struggling. Like, and then I'm just like, so I do have an influence in some ways, but also what I look at in my political views and things and like that. Like I go watch a video on something and then my view of something might change.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's for the good and sometimes it's probably not. But like, especially like in that aspect, because I have a lot of like, a lot of my feed is that. So I go and look at things and maybe I'm like, I've never even thought about that. And then I post it and now other people are thinking about it. And so, I don't know. So I've seen myself influence others, but I have seen myself influence others and then been like, I disagree now. And then I'm just like,
that's
dang,
good.
I don't.
So let's just lean into that a little bit. How do you deal with the pressure of being an influencer and sometimes knowing that you may steer people in the wrong direction?
Well, I feel like I'm human, so it's like I'm never gonna get it perfect.
Right.
But it's also like I just, for one, I try not to get to the point where I'm posting things that I might not agree with later. I take the time and I look at it and like, oh, this is like, I don't know, like, and then if I don't know, I'll like it, comment on it, but I won't like go and share it because I'm just like, I don't know. But
do you ever feel the pressure to always speak up about an issue?
yes and no. I did for a long time, and then after the whole like eventually it got really overwhelming because you would see things on the internet and you just get really sad about it, and I'm like, dang.
Yeah.
And then I'd be like, sorry, I wouldn't want to post about it because I don't want to talk about it right now because I'm struggling with it myself.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Lauren, you seem like the kind of young lady that is reserved. Like you think deeply, but you don't always probably like come out. You don't seem like the kind of person like Briaiah is like, hold up, everybody, let me get this mic. I have something thou shalt say. How do you?
Something important that I like care about, then yeah.
You're taking the mic.
I want to cross and explain like the reason why I feel this way or why I believe it's right or wrong, or you know.
Mm-hmm.
If it's something I don't really care about, y'all can talk about it.
Yeah. I'm gonna go back a little bit. 15, 16.
I'm 15.
15. You said my political views. That's so deep to me. That's just first of all, it's deep because when I was 15, I had sports views, and that was about it. I had hip hop views. Didn't know if I had political views. So I want to say you guys keep that up. You guys are sharp women. I think it's important. You guys. It's good to be both influenced in good ways, but also influencers, and don't ever feel like you're fixed in only one place. You know what I mean? Because it's good to learn, but it's also good to teach. You know. So as you guys are operating amongst your friends, is it hard to exist in 2021 as people who love God and being both influencers and influence? Like, what does it mean to you to like execute the golden rule in today's time?
I try to surround myself with people who are not going to try to sway me in a direction that I'm not trying to go. So just in general, I don't have friends, I don't follow people, I don't do things that I know like that, because I know I am a teenager, I'm gonna be influenced. So if I just keep myself from people who influence me in ways I shouldn't be influenced, then it makes it easier to go through life without being influenced in ways that you don't want to be. But also it's like, I myself am still trying to figure out how I feel about the Bible and how I interpret it and stuff. So if I don't know, like I'm also trying to figure it out. Like I'm surrounded around people who are trying to figure it, like we're all just trying to figure it out. So it's like I haven't figured it out yet, and I don't even like.
Can I tell you something? You're never gonna figure it out.
Yeah, no, I know. But
and be cool with that tension. Just in your curiosity, hold convictions that you know that God loves you and you're supposed to love people. Golden rule. And you can make that a T-shirt if you want to. But know that you know, maybe 40 something. It's like I'm still confused about some things.
Right.
You know what I mean? You had this face that was like you like. I don't know if I want to answer this question. Do you find it hard to just love God and execute the golden rule? And
Yeah, sometimes.
what's the most like? What do you feel is most difficult about it?
What do you mean?
Like, what's most difficult about loving God to you?
I guess just like questions, not knowing something.
Yeah.
And surrounding yourself by the right people. And
I have two more questions. One, I saw that you got a little emotional, and like, why? Like, what happened? Like, what was you thinking through? Like, because I think there's a lot of people I mean, there's a lot of people who probably feel the same way you feel, and they're trying to wrestle through these emotions as well.
Sorry.
No, don't be sorry.
For me, when I got emotional, it's because, at the time I was talking about the movement.
Right.
And how I feel stressed out about it sometimes. It's just because I just feel like even though I do influence maybe like 5, 6 people, I don't think I'll ever be able to influence the world in a way that it just changes. And so that stresses me out. But also, just the fact that like, when you like some things just like, I'll talk to people about them and I'll like really try to explain myself and they just don't get it. Yeah. And I'm just like, it's just stressful for me sometimes because I'm like, I care so much about the issue and because I'm a part of the issue and I feel like it's just hard to sometimes like go through life and like, it feels like a burden that's on my shoulders. But the thing is like, if I keep letting it be a burden, it becomes like, it's just too heavy for one person to carry, and it feels like
absolutely.
So,
Briaiah, I just want to say, first of all, your heart is admirable. The passion, like, if anything, I want you to. This may sound crazy. I want you to continue to feel that way, because people who feel that way are people who change the world. Like my thing is like, if you change only 5 or 6 people's hearts, you know how many people that can, like, that's amazing to me. Like and the other thing is you're the type of person who are going to influence people who are influencers. And those folks help make decisions. They make policies. They help people on the margins. Like, they are the people who probably are creating problems. So now, because of their interaction with you, they can make substantial changes that can change the way our people are treated by police and the way people are treated by housing and the disparities. There's so many things that one person can do, and never feel like the minimal impact that you may have is not important. You know what I'm saying? Like, some people have stages, some people only have classrooms, some people have neighbors, and like, no matter what you do, it's important. So just feel encouraged by that, but know that we live in a broken world, and it's gonna feel exhausting. It's gonna get tiring. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't care what they say. I'm making shirts off of these 4 or 5 quotes they just gave me. Okay. And I'm gonna make Lauren wear them. We're gonna sell them to all her friends, and we're gonna make some money. You like making money, Lauren? Okay. Lauren likes money. She likes God, and she likes grudges. Thank y'all for joining us.
And that's the show.
And that is it.